Hey, it's Jude with Brownells, and welcome back to another episode of From the Vault. Today we're going to be looking at a rifle I built pretty early on in my career, and it stayed pretty much the same the whole time. So this serves as a good reminder of where my thoughts were at the beginning, and also things that I've learned moving on and things that I can improve on. Before we get into that, just to address the elephant in the room, this is our new collaboration with Retro Rifle, the shirt that we do every year, and you can tell it's got a lot of color. A few years ago, Hop put out some videos on Munition Works, and coincidentally, I bought an upper from him. It was a build-your-own upper that on their site, they have exceptional quality control for a very reasonable price, and you get to go down the list and select things. So, of course, I picked the quad rail and all the other upgrades that go with it, but it was my first ever quality rifle. Before it, I had built a couple just things that I pieced together along my journey. I didn't, know a whole lot about it, but this one is where I really got a lot of the internal components that I needed that I thought were important. So you have a hard chrome bolt carrier group, mid-length gas system, a 14.5 barrel with a pin and weld muzzle device making it 16 inches, and comes with a Radian Raptor charging handle. Big fan of those. And then after that, it was pretty much good to go out of the box. I didn't really have to do any tinkering with the internals. It was all good to go. So where I really shined is kind of accessorizing it and building it out that way. So starting at the rear, we've got the B5 system SOP mod stock, A2 pistol grip, Magpul trigger guard. I like the extra room that it gives. If you're like me and you like to just go outside and shoot, no matter what the weather is, you can have gloves and things like that, and it's not going to bother you. It's also just extra room. Moving on to the front, this rifle build really harkens back to things that I know. So you have the Knights Armament rail covers on the sides, which I've always been a huge fan of how they look and feel, and the almighty ACOG with red chevron. Is there a better combat-tested mid-range combat optic? I don't think so. And then I'm also, a big fan of like Piggyback higher red dot sights. You've seen the arguments about, having the sight be higher. It kind of goes back to the carry handle days and red dots on top of those. And I like it, for any kind of close range engagements. We have a AID Stingray on top. And yeah, of course I got my little electrical tape on there. If you know, you know. Moving on, we got rail covers all over the place because of my soft hands, and that's fine. But up here, gotta have a light. Let me back up. When I built this rifle, it was more so duty rifle, prepared citizen rifle, things like that. Just be prepared. I just got out of the military, and then not long after that is when this rifle came to fruition. So I was still kind of, in a mindset where, being prepared and having all the tools that I needed for the most capability possible. So that's why you have a mid-range, not too bulky optic, but something that I was familiar with and something that I could hit a target with, as well as the red dot. Red dot was kind of an upgrade that I just wanted, but and then you have to have a flashlight, and then you have to have a laser. And at the time, if you're not aware, this is a Selmo Gear knockoff PEC 15, which I'm not ashamed of at all. I think that, for the price point and for what you learn, it's a fantastic option. Does it hold zero as well? No, you're not going to really beat the bigger brands with that, and that's fine. But I think it's a good reminder of where my head was at, and it helped me get training and be more prepared for certain situations, like, fighting at night and owning the night. Moving on, up front here, this is just a JK 9mm suppressor. First suppressor I ever bought, so I wanted it to have as much function for across platforms as it could. So, we live in Iowa. We can hunt with 350 Legend, which is just a smaller than 9mm round. And, you could also put a booster on this, put it on a 9mm pistol. Does it do a lot on an AR-15? No, probably not. But it does look cool, and that's important too. I'm a big fan of angled foregrips. I spent a lot of time with the broom handle mounted somewhere around here, and that's good too. But when you get into the realm of, C-clamping and all that cool fast stuff, then this really comes into play for that. When you're reaching around to hit all these buttons on top, then that's important too. Trigger in it is a single stage. I'm kind of leaning more towards, you know, 2-stage triggers, and so, but I'm not going to change anything about this because, like I said, this is a reminder of who I was at the beginning, and I think that that's important. The quad rail is clearly very special to me, and I'm very proud of that too. But oh, and then I got a Blue Force Gear Vickers sling, 2-point sling. Gotta have a 2-point sling. That way you could, you know, wrench on it and really get some accuracy out of it and really stabilize your whole platform. But I've probably got like maybe 3,000 rounds on this thing. I kind of, this is definitely my go-to rifle if I'm just going out to the range. So that does it. Thanks so much for joining me today and walking down memory lane. And we'll see you next time with another gun from the vault.